This is Tahir. So I'm gonna back up and play the thing that you were just playing a second ago while I do this.
Okay.
So you explained to me and Aaron a second ago that that was, what was here?
This is just like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and
Okay.
closed open, but just using your foot. The basics behind that.
Will you do it again?
Do you got close up on his foot?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Can we do it again?
Yeah. Cool.
Perfect.
The basics behind that is you're just gonna go, like forward, back, with your heel and your toes.
Okay.
So
Are you
heel toe,
hitting with
heel
the
toe.
ball of your foot each time? Are you hitting with the heel first time? How
I just use my toes, but you can use the ball if you'd like. I just prefer to use my toes over it.
So you're using your toes both times?
No, you use the toes the first time for like all the numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for the ands you use the heel of your foot.
Okay.
But you're just gonna slam down real quick to get an open sound.
Okay.
Push down with your toes to get the close sound. And then you're just gonna alternate real quick.
Cool. Next.
Alright, and then over here on the ride, you're just gonna have an alternating pattern going on from the bell on the ride. And that's fairly consistent.
Okay.
So the actual pattern is actually in 5/4. So if these two patterns together.
Okay. Next.
And this is where it gets really, really tricky.
Make it untricky for a second. Show us what these two are doing, please.
What, bass and snare are doing?
Yep. How do you know what to play there? Are you counting it? Are you just feeling it?
Feeling it out.
Okay. How did you learn to do stuff like that in the first place? How did you learn to feel something like that? Did you ever count, or does it just kind of come naturally?
Just a lot of practice, really.
Okay.
You do count here and there, but the whole purpose of counting is so that eventually you don't have to count.
Okay.
If you
So that's what you did, though? You learned how to count first?
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha! To all of the students out there! Thank you, Tahir.
Right
Okay.
on, man.
So explain however you choose to, but explain what the bass and the snare are doing right now.
The bass and the snare are doing is they're playing in 5/8,
Okay.
while the hi-hat and the ride are playing in 5/4.
Okay.
So you're going to finish your pattern with your bass and your snare two times over before you finish with your ride and
Gotcha.
your hi-hat, before everything overlaps back on beat one together. So this is on one, and this is on one. Before everything comes back into harmony. So you're going to go through the bass and the snare pattern twice.
Excellent.
So
Okay, so how would you practice this, assuming that you already know how to do this technique, and assuming that you already understand what 5/8 and 5/4 are? How would you practice this?
how would you practice it? I would say you'd have to start out very slowly and gradually increase your speed with it.
Does drooling have anything to do with it?
Drilling?
Drooling.
Drilling? No.
Okay, because that's about all you would get out of me. I just get it. I
Right
don't
on.
get it. Okay, so show me, demonstrate. What should they be doing? Would you leave anything out in that? I know Aaron at his clinic was talking about breaking things into like independent sections. I believe, right, Aaron? You did each set of two. When you're doing the four-way coordination,
Yeah.
you learned each set of two, right? Both arms, both feet, a hand and a foot, another hand and a foot, and then another hand and a foot, but we aren't sure whose those were, right?
Yeah, and that's when you're starting from the ground up. After you do it a few times, a lot of stuff will just be like really commonly natural and easy. Like if you're just playing a backbeat and eighth notes with your hands or something.
Cool.
Then you can just work on the other two. But yeah, from the ground up, you want to do every combination.
Okay.
And how I would recommend doing that, like how Aaron does it is I wouldn't go, your hands together like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would do, your left foot and your right hand,
Okay.
and then your right foot and your left hand together, cross them.
Okay.
Because that's actually the easiest way to do it.
Really?
All I can do is together.
Excellent.
Any other questions?
No.
All right.